most I feel alive is when I'm doing music.
It's beautiful stuff, and it's beautiful stuff to create. It's a real gift.
It just makes the world seem much more interesting, I guess.
It's just a beautiful thing to do. It's a beautiful thing for you, and I couldn't imagine a world without music at all.
You play music for people to hear. And from my point of view, my objective in doing that is contributing to the well-being of the world. Making something that can affect people in a really positive way. It's probably the most I feel alive is when I'm doing music.
Well, it brought us all together, didn't it?
Yeah, it brings people together.
I think everyone wants to sort of have a go at some point.
Yeah, be famous.
I believe it's got healing qualities. Certainly a way of communicating. I'm sure the cavemen had some kind of music going for themselves in between fighting dinosaurs.
It inhabits a sort of weird area between the thing I love to do, but also the thing I have to do.
From a very early age, I started playing the guitar, joined a few bands, and pretty much it stayed with me for the rest of my life.
It's very powerful as a listener when someone starts to speak to you in your own voice and they start saying and doing things with music that resonate with you.
I find any style of music to be important because it's written for different people, and that's why we have classical music, why we have jazz, why we have hip hop, why we have blues, why we have rock, why we have funk, because people are different and they relate on different levels, and music totally acknowledges that difference.
I've always had a rock and roll edge. I've always been in rock and roll bands, and I just love the freedom that it allows you. I love the connection with people, the intimacy of it.
Music for all people and cultures is a form of living expression. It's a very happy thing.
If you hear the wind blowing over a reed, you'll hear the harmonic series. It existed before humans did, and before humans started taking the elements of the world and sculpting them into musical instruments. So, the way our planet has evolved, it's evolved to have music, and we have evolved to harness it.
You can express your emotions, so like through the lyrics of the song you can express how you're feeling without actually like making it too serious.
It's a good release of a mood. Whatever mood you're in tends to correspond to what sound comes out when you're playing.
It's certainly an escape from other parts of your life and of the world, I guess, because when you play in an orchestra, you're utterly focused on the symphony or whatever it is you're playing at the time. So, in a sense, you escape from other elements and focus yourself entirely. So it's not a sort of meditative escape where you can let your mind go blank. Your mind is so focused and active that you are escaping from the rest of reality, if you like.
I just listen to music like all day, throughout my day. I just always have an earphone in or something, just like, I don't know, it just makes the world seem much more interesting, I guess.
A world without music would be a world without life For me, it's something I engage in. It's probably one of the highest levels of things that I engage in. So if that wasn't there, I don't know what would replace it. A void.
It wouldn't be the world.
A world without music would be some sort of weird alien place where, maybe, I don't know, maybe sort of there's no nature at all. It's all sort of man-made materials, and sound is non-pitched, you know, it's all monotonous, which would be some sort of crazy sci-fi world.
Yeah, it would be very boring without music.
Yeah.
Very bland, emotionless.
And I think everyone notices like the music of the planet, if you like, whether they mean to or not. So a world without music would be almost impossible to imagine, I think.
As I was growing up and going through all sorts of experiences in life, there are times of music and events around music that have huge importance to me and significance.
I guess when you're younger, you tend not to be so analytical about the whole thing. It's purely emotion. You know, you hear something, you react, you feel a certain way. And those songs, whatever they were, whether they be corny or whatever, will always have a place in your heart.
There will be certain points where you heard a piece of music or an album or a concert when something was happening in your life. Every time you hear that piece of music, it's going to take you straight back to that situation.
So it's definitely like a memory trigger, like different songs trigger different memories, for me anyway.
And I've got songs that remind me of very sad times. I've got songs that remind me of happy times, of being young. I can't think of anything else that triggers memory more than music, to be honest. Apart from a punch in the face.
So if you listen to a song at a important moment, then you'll associate that feeling with that song.
I remember I once had a music theory teacher who said that the first time he heard Beethoven's Eroica Symphony was also the first time he drank a can of Coke. And because the flavour of Coke is so unique and the sound of Beethoven Eroica is so unique, those two memories have been intertwined for him. And so whenever he drinks Coke, he hears Eroica, and whenever he hears Eroica, he tastes Coke. He's got that sort of synesthetic mixing of memories between senses.
I was on the banks of a river in New South Wales near Tamworth once with some mates and had the acoustic out and started singing, and they were out in a canoe, and about 5 cows were about 20 yards behind me, all in a line with their ears up, actually listening to the music. It blew my mind, yeah. No drugs involved, just the cows, me, and the acoustic guitar. So that taught me a lesson. It was beautiful.
Often with orchestral pieces, if I play a piece, my mind will be drawn back to the first time I played that piece and the people I played it with and how it felt, which is always, you know, a really sort of pleasurable trip down memory lane.
The amount of music that's used for healing and meditation and that sort of stuff. And it's been proven to work. You know, they've actually tested people's blood pressure and taken blood samples from people and checked the status of their blood and their blood pressure, etc. After listening to types of music, and you know, amazing things happen within the body with music. It is miraculous stuff.
I think albums and music become quite powerful signposts in your life.
It forms people's lives.
Like a soundtrack to life almost.
It really is a soundtrack to your life when you think about it.
It's just a beautiful thing to do. It's a beautiful thing for you, and I couldn't imagine a world without music at all. I'd sooner lose a leg.
Same.